Alright, today on Dadcraft we're going to do a little bit of work with clay and terracotta. Now terracotta is like pottery in the real world. You take clay and fire it in an oven, you get terracotta. But then if you can color the clay, you can get different colors of terracotta out and then fire it again and get patterned glazed terracotta out. So let's see how that works. First of all, where can you find clay? Well, blocks of clay will spawn spontaneously down in the deep mine. I think we've seen that already. But that's kind of one block here or there, and it's not going to give you much in the way of clay. It also spawns out in river biomes. You'll find patches of clay, and so you can either mine it with a silk touch pickaxe to get the full block, or with a shovel and get some clay balls. Now you take 4 clay balls, I have a few here in the chest, into a crafting table, and you'll get an actual block of clay. It just says clay. So you take the clay balls, put them in any 4 spots like this, and you'll get clay out of it. Now clay by itself, you can use it as a block, you can place it, that's all cool. But what happens to it is cool is you put it in an oven, in a furnace, and you cook it, and out will come terracotta. Now terracotta is first time fired. It's like a brick or clay material that you put in an oven and fired. And so we'll take some of these out. And we'll go over here, we'll grab a few more terracotta and we'll color them. So let's take 8 of them. You need 8. And you put it in a crafting table all around. And then you put colored dye in the middle. Now we'll do a whole thing on colored dye later on, because it's pretty complicated. You got to be able to find things in the overworld to make the colors from primary colors and then black and white, and then you can craft the other dyes from them. It's pretty straightforward, but it's, I think, an unnecessarily complicated thing, but there it is. So I've got some purple dye here, which is going to be kind of fun, and I can take 8 blocks and with 1 piece of dye get 8 purple terracotta. Now these are regular terracotta, which is like an earthen brown, and these are purple, and we'll take those out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fire those purple terracotta in the oven a second time. And this is going to be interesting because they're going to be fired and then they're going to come out as glazed terracotta. And every color that you use in terracotta to get a different kind of glaze on them will give you patterns, and the patterns are really cool, and that's kind of a fun part of all this. So here's the first one coming out of the purple glazed terracotta. And what we'll do is we'll place one of them down here, and then you'll see them, it'll kind of be placed in the air because I'm on top of half slabs, of course. And there it is. It's like, wow. Nothing else like this in Minecraft has these kind of patterns. Now, the purple one here has what looks like part of a sword and a cool background, and the direction that you place it gives the sword a different orientation. You can see each block has a different directionality to it, even the top and bottom. And so glazed terracotta can be used to decorate your walls and your floors with really cool patterns. Alright, before we go back over and do the glazed terracotta, I'm going to take a look here really quick. Remember, there's dyes that come from different things in the overworld, and so what we have here are some of those dyes that I've made from the raw materials that we find in the overworld. And so there's black, gray, light gray, white, and brown. Those are kind of like the shades. Then there's red, orange, yellow, green, there's blue, purple, and then some variants of that. There's a magenta, which is like a lighter purple, a light blue, cyan, which is a bluish green, a lime, which is a bright light green, and pink. And what I've done is I've taken 1 pink dye from this storage area. We'll see how to make these later. And 8 terracotta blocks. Now these dyes were all put here originally to dye our sheep in the sheep farm. We'll do another video on that, how to collect wool from this automatically, but luring a sheep, putting them in here, and then having them produce wool to fill up these different so you can see there's tons of wool in here in these chests. That gives you all these colors to work with to make carpets or statuary out of different colors. Kind of a cool way to do things. I'm going to go back inside here, and we're going to craft one more time. We will take a pink dye, surround it with 8 terracotta, that's once fired clay bricks, to get pink terracotta bricks. And we will then move out the rest of the purple and move in the pink. And while this is cooking, we're going to grab what comes out. Now remember, the purple glazed terracotta gave us what looked like a sword, and it's kind of a cool design. The pink is going to give us something fun here that you'll see, and it looks like flowers. And so it's kind of a rose looking flower that you can see that comes out of this. And putting 4 of these together will give you a nice rose pattern. And so again, kind of a fun thing to do with the terracotta. All right, instead of firing up 8 terracotta with every die, I've gone back to my first world that I've had for a number of years. I think since 2017, so it's like 5 years. And I'm here at what is ostensibly a block farm. And so one of the things I did was I said, okay, how can I get pretty much every block in the game? And you can see here off in the distance, I've got all the colored blocks and all the colored beds and all the different colors of dye, all of the carpets and wool, and then the terracotta and the glazed terracotta, so we can take a look at that. And then there's also, you can see in the foreground in front of the stacked up items, the concrete dust and then the concrete that actually make really cool blocks for doing designs. And from the left to right, you have the black, dark gray, the light gray, the white, the brown, and then all the colors going across. The fun and interesting one here is this one, and we'll get up a little closer here to magenta. And you get arrows, and arrows are kind of fun things to have in the games to point to stuff. And you can have hallways, and you say go this way or go that way. I use signs a lot to describe what things are in the game, but arrows can be really cool in your design. And you can see each of these glazed terracotta ends up with a different pattern, and you can make 4 of these patterns come together using different sides of blocks to give you some cool designs. So there they are, all of the terracotta, which are kind of dull colored blocks that are underneath, the glazed terracotta, which are along the top, which are really cool. So that's what you can get out of terracotta in the game. And that's here in the Block Museum. And maybe we'll do a tour of the Block Museum as a special video to show different things that are in the game. All right. Have some fun playing Minecraft.